Construction workers and farm workers are not showing up en masse at both construction sites and on farms throughout Florida. This is occurring, I'm sure, throughout the rest of the United States, but I've seen a number of stories, a number of articles the last week or two where they have stopped because here in Florida, between ICE and Governor DeSantis, construction sites and farms are being raided and taking undocumented workers that have broken no laws, that have done no wrong, and taking them away, that are only trying to earn money to help their families survive. And that is their crime. They're trying to earn an honest living, unlike all of these people that Trump just pardoned. We won't even go there yet, but that's another whole story. Remember how Donald Trump said during the election he was only going to go after the criminals, only the criminals. That is just a complete lie, Donald Trump, and it's a lie, because most of the people that are being taken away are not criminal at all. The only crime they've done is try to earn a living. So for all of my Latinos that voted for Donald Trump because you believed his lie, this should wake you up. The man says one thing and clearly does another. This man also has no respect for the law and will say anything and do anything to get elected, as we've seen. Likewise, if you are having a house built, I see many people that were in the process of having houses built and they've gone to visit the construction sites and they see there are no workers there. Now they don't know what they're going to do because they've paid to build houses. They've taken out loans, etc., to build houses, and the contractors don't have employees and there's no one working on the job sites. So we've got all these partially finished homes that the good Lord only knows when and how they'll ever get finished because there are no workers. Florida already had a massive labor shortage before this, and it's only going to get worse. And we're coming into hurricane season with partially built homes. So there you have it. So love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, my burned out light bulbs. If you're having a house built in Florida and you see it all of a sudden stopped, you can thank Donald Trump. If you don't like the prices you see on food in the grocery stores because more crops are not being picked and there's more shortages, not to mention the tariffs and all the other things Donald Trump has caused, you can thank Donald Trump again. Higher prices, higher costs, and shortages. Thank the one responsible, Donald Trump. What a blessing. We are truly lucky to have the orange Jesus, a felon, as president. What do you think?
Welcome back to our channel, AI Crystal. If you're new here, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest in politics, policy, and everything in between. And to all our amazing returning subscribers, thank you. You're the heartbeat of this channel. Let's dive into a story that's been shaking up Florida's construction industry and stirring major debate across the nation. Reports are swirling that former President Donald Trump allegedly supported or influenced the deportation of an entire construction crew working in Florida. The team, reportedly composed of undocumented workers, was allegedly removed in what some are calling a politically motivated crackdown. As of now, there is no official confirmation or record directly tying Trump to a specific deportation order of a named construction crew. However, broader policies from his administration and current influence may have impacted enforcement actions like these.
So I work in construction management, and I absolutely love the guys that work for me. I was just having a conversation with one of my favorite installers who was telling me how afraid he is for his family, for his friends, for people that he loves, his coworkers, people he networks and knows in the industry. He's really, truly, genuinely afraid. And I'm sitting here angry because I know these men. They work for me every day. They are the kindest, funniest, most positive, hardworking people I've ever met. If I asked them to run through a wall, they would run right through it. And they would work 12 hours to 16 hours a day with a smile on their face, happy as can be, and grateful that they have work. They're doing the jobs that a lot of people don't want to do. Citizens born here don't want to do, won't do, aren't willing to do. And I can pretty much tell you that these guys will outwork any lazy American any fucking day of the week. So when Trump kicks them and all other migrants out of our country just because they look different, speak a different language, came here seeking asylum, came here to work their asses off and send money back to their families in starving countries, when Trump kicks them all out of our country. I want to know who's going to step up to build the houses, to build the apartment complexes, to install the flooring and install the drywall and do all the heavy lifting and all the things. Like, who's going to step up to do that stuff? Because let's be honest, in my industry, it's majority of the workforce. And again, not to mention, these are some of the hardest working, kindest, most positive human beings that you'll ever meet in your entire life. These are human beings with families and children and spouses and parents, siblings, cousins, friends. These are human beings, and human beings that I love.
There was a large ICE raid that happened in the city of Tallahassee. Let's talk about it. And just please listen to the whole video. Don't just take one sentence and then go off of that, because you don't even know where this is going. We all know that coming into this country without the proper documentation is illegal. This is no surprise. It's not a shock. This country has laws. We have processes that need to be followed. And if you want to live here, you have to abide by that. Now, there are over 800,000 immigrants a year that have waited their turn, and it could be years, and they stayed where they were at, and they became naturalized into the United States, and they're now a United States citizen. We cannot make light of that process, because that is the correct way how to do it. But my understanding of Trump's immigration policy was that we were going to focus on the harsh, violent criminals first. Focus all our efforts on getting them out. I absolutely agree with that. If you come to this country illegally and you still commit more crimes, that is horrible. You need to go. But that's not what I seen at that ICE raid at that construction site in Tallahassee next to FSU. What I seen was a bunch of individuals who were working, not committing crimes. And I want to add another point to this. Some of those workers had their papers, but they were still thrown in the back of a bus. Those individuals were doing the job that most of us refuse to do. And here's what some people forget. Even illegal immigrants have constitutional rights. In our Constitution, specifically for these rights we're talking about, it does not say citizen. It says persons, which means that they have the right to due process. They have the right to be treated fairly, and they have the right to defend themselves in this country. They should not be deprived of that. That's not my opinion. That is literally the law. Let's not get this twisted. If you are an employer and you hired an undocumented worker just to pay them less and then sell them out to ICE, you are a part of the problem. And you should be held accountable just as much as the workers working there. This video, I never said that it was right for the illegal immigrants to be here. I never said it was right, because it's wrong. You broke the law to come to this country. We can't ignore that. But I want to focus on the most dangerous criminals first, instead of the people who are building infrastructure in this city. And I want to make another point based off of Tallahassee. Tallahassee is not going to dedicate police officers or funding towards this ICE detainment thing. I know we're required to give one police officer towards that purpose, but we will not be having ICE patrols dedicated within the city of Tallahassee. They want to use their resources and things, the federal government, state government. We technically can't stop them from doing so. Our police department should be focused in our community, solving crimes, stopping crimes, preventing crimes, getting active in our community, and gaining that trust. I truly believe in holding people accountable, and I've held every side accountable. I believe in fairness, kindness, and also upholding the Constitution of the United States. I feel like I did that in this video today.
What jobs are immigrants taking from Americans? Because I hear a lot of, they are taking our jobs. What jobs? The fields, completely empty. No one's showing up to work because they're scared to be deported. Crops are just rotten, sitting there rotten. And I don't see any Americans taking those jobs. Landscaping companies, landscaping crews, short staff, because no one's showing up to work. Where are the Americans that wanted these jobs so badly that immigrants were taking away from you? Why are you not taking these jobs? They're available. And why are we only targeting the Latin immigrants? There's tons of immigrants in this country. There's Asians, there's Europeans, there's Russians, tons. But why only the Latin community? Why is it that that's the focus, the Latin community? Anyways, these jobs are available. They do pay minimum wage. You got to be out in the sun 10 to 12 hours a day. But they need to get done. And these are the jobs that Americans really wanted because these immigrants just took all their jobs. So they're available. You know, restaurants, construction companies, landscaping companies, tons of jobs available. I see hiring signs all over the place. So Americans that wanted these jobs, they're there. Somebody needs to do this, right? And these Americans wanted it. So those jobs are available for you now.
Let's examine the facts. 1. Immigration crackdowns under Trump's policies. Trump's administration was known for its zero-tolerance immigration policies. ICE raids and E-Verify enforcement efforts ramped up during his tenure, especially targeting industries like agriculture and construction where undocumented labor is common. 2. Why construction? Florida's booming real estate and infrastructure developments rely heavily on immigrant labor, many of whom are undocumented. Deporting entire crews can halt major projects, delaying timelines, spiking costs, and exposing how deeply the industry depends on this workforce. 3. Legal and ethical debate. Proponents argue, it's the law. We must prioritize American workers and uphold immigration regulations. Critics counter, these mass deportations target vulnerable people and hurt the very industries that depend on them. Critical analysis. So why is this story getting so much attention now? Trump remains a central figure in shaping Republican immigration rhetoric, even out of office. Some believe such stories are used politically to energize his base ahead of 2024/2025 elections. Others worry it's part of a wider shift toward more aggressive, punitive enforcement that overlooks economic realities. The ripple effect in Florida. Contractors are struggling to find replacements. Project delays are piling up. Many workers are afraid to show up to job sites, fearing deportation or workplace raids. All of this is leading to one core question. Is this sustainable? Your voice matters. What do you think? Was this enforcement of the law, or a political stunt? Is the construction industry turning a blind eye to labor sourcing? Or is the immigration system itself broken beyond repair? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading every single one. Don't forget to like if you found this informative. Share with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe for more deep dives from AI Crystal. Until next time, stay smart, stay critical, and stay tuned right here on AI Crystal, where facts meet fearless